Okay, in this video I want to show you a 3D tool that I use quite often. Imagine this is a building that you're working on. Most of the times with the building that you're designing, let's say, let me actually open a floor plan. So you can see that both wings of this building are perpendicular or parallel to the axes of your model. This makes it very easy when you're working with the section box, because the section box is basically aligned with both wings of your building. So if I want to cut to the one of the wings, I'm able to do that very easily like this, and everything looks good, and I can basically isolate that piece of the building. The problem shows itself when you have a building that has, let's say, two different wings, but one of these wings is not aligned. It's an angle basically to the other one. Like, for example, let's use this as an example. The angle of this pathway is not perpendicular or parallel to any of the standard X or Y axes. So what you have to do is that you have to grab this section box and rotate it to make it basically parallel to that path, to be able to isolate it and be able to play with it nicely. I've made a small tool under pyRevit, under 3D tools, that is called the Orient Section Box to face. So we're going to click on this. You're able to pick faces of objects. In this instance, I'm going to pick this face of this wall, and when you click on it, it actually rotates the section box in order to align it with that face. So now I can do this, and I can isolate that piece of the, imagine that's the piece of your building. Isolate that and have it perpendicular and aligned with that piece of model that I'm looking at. This is very helpful to me, especially if that's a building, and imagine you have multiple levels and you want to cut it at a place that's, is meaningful to you, in order to be able, to look at things that are stacked on top of each other and stuff like this. So I would highly suggest getting used to this tool. You can even assign a shortcut to it if you want. I'll do a, let me actually show it to you here. So the keyboard shortcut for Revit shortcuts is KS, keyboard shortcut, and it opens this window for you that you can assign shortcuts to it. If you don't want to use this, you can go under options, and under user interface, I think it is, keyboard shortcuts customized. This basically opens the same window. So I'm just going to use my shortcut KS, and then if you open this filter thing, you can see all the pyRevit tab and a pyRevit development tab that you don't generally use, but this is what you see, pyRevit tab. If you click on it, there's a list of all the tools in pyRevit that you can assign shortcuts to. So if I want to assign a shortcut to that, I can just search for it, say Orient, and there you go. See, pyRevit modify, there are 3 tools that use that Orient Section Box to face, and I can let's say I want to assign OS to it or something like that. It's actually assigned to something else before, but you can assign anything to you want to it, and it would make it so much easier to run this tool and use it while you are 3D modeling.